Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is part 2 of my Sephora VIB sale haul. I warned you a few videos ago with part 1, there might be a part 2, and there is a part 2. I did end up placing an online order, so I'm going to share what I ordered, and then I have a little mini in-store haul also. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to try as much of the stuff on as I can, and we're just going to see what I did the second time around, because every single sale, there's usually at least a round 2, sometimes a round 3, but we're just going to say this is it for this time. So if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube. I hope you'll subscribe and stick around. And let's get into what I bought, part 2. Okay, we'll just start with a random purchase. I did get this Laneige lip sleeping mask in the peppermint smell. So last year I think I got a set that had a mini of the peppermint in there, and I used that up, but I love the peppermint one. It smells like true, just pure peppermint, and I really like it, especially at night before I go to bed. So I did get that. They do make the squeeze tube version in peppermint too. I think those are called the glow balms or something like that. I almost got that, but I feel like I would use this more, so I did get that. And let's see here. We'll do the online stuff first, which, by the way, if you have been ordering from Sephora recently, did they stop giving you an order slip in your boxes? Sephora used to always give you like a receipt in your box when you purchase online. I guess they're not doing that anymore, because like the last 2-3 months, mine just quit having receipts in the box, which is kind of annoying for me because I use those to keep up with for business things. But anyways, let me know, is it just me or did they get rid of the receipts? Oh, one other thing that's not super exciting because you've seen it already. I got a second one of these, the Sephora Synchro Suede lip liner. That is how much I love this. I rarely buy a backup of a lip liner, but I love this specific shade and formula so much that I just went ahead and ordered another one while it was 30% off. Probably gonna keep that one in my purse. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. So I did get a primer. The number of times that I've almost ordered this primer, I wish I knew, because I've had it in and out of my cart so many times. So I just bought it. The Shiseido Synchro Skin Soft Blurring Primer. The reason I wanted this is because Andrea Ali, a makeup artist here on YouTube, you're probably familiar with her. She is a makeup artist based in Paris that I am absolutely obsessed with. Everything about that woman is just, I just like stare at her. When I see her on Instagram or her YouTube videos, she is just so stunning to me in every single way. Her hair, her skin, her makeup, her outfits, like she is just, I just can't get enough of her. Anyway, she is always raving about this primer. So, of course, I feel the need to try it. I haven't tried too much from Shiseido other than the Synchro Skin Concealer, which I love, and the Radiant, what is it? The Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I have that and I like that too. So let's try out this primer. We are going to try a new foundation today. It's a little bit tricky sometimes to do a new primer and a new foundation, but for the sake of the video, we're going to do it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it all over my face or just a certain area. Ooh, it's very thin and liquidy. So it looks like that's kind of, oh, it's very thin. I don't know why. I was thinking it was going to be like a thicker product. Ooh. Okay, it feels really nice. Definitely very, very thin though. Not like you would think of a smoothing primer. It's been like 2 or 3 minutes and it definitely feels like it's set down. My skin feels really, really smooth and soft, but it's not as silicone-y. It's not a word, I don't think, but It's not as much of a silicone feeling primer as some of them. Like, it's definitely not as smoothing as like the Tarte blurring primer, but it definitely does feel like it did create just a little bit of like a softened effect on my skin. So we'll see. It is a dimethicone based primer, but it feels nice. Feels nice. I like that it's really thin too, instead of a thicker consistency like the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. That one is really thick, like a gel consistency. That one is almost, or the Shiseido one is almost like a lotion. So I have two foundations. One of them I ordered and one of them I got in store. This is one of the ones that I ordered because I feel like I see somebody raving about this in every single Sephora sale recommendation season. I feel like someone is always recommending this, if not multiple people recommending it, and this is not a new product. This has been around for a while. The Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick. Now, I have ordered this in the past. I want to say maybe a year ago, year and a half ago. I ordered it in two shades. Neither of them worked. I ended up returning them because they were just so far off. I find Tom Ford shades to be really, really difficult. So Martina Lily, I blame this one on you because she bought this recently and I asked her what shade she wore, and she wore this one, so I figured we could try it. This is shade 1.5, but I just feel like this is one of those things I always hear people rave about. So I have this, but I also have one more. This one, this is kind of a combined influence from Martina also, and Andrea Ali is always wearing this also. The Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation. Now, I have the Karen Glow Lancome foundation, and the more I wear that, the more I like it. So it made me really curious for this one. I really want to try the Tom Ford though. So I think we're going to go with Tom Ford, but obviously I'll try that in an upcoming video. But let's do Tom Ford. I really want to find my shade in this. I don't know. If you think Tom Ford shades are difficult, let me know, because I feel like they're very difficult. I remember before when I ordered this, they do have swatches online in the description of this foundation on Sephora, but I remember the swatches didn't look anything like how they looked in person when I ordered it before. I'm going to use this clean BK Beauty brush and start blending this in. Normally I do my corrector first, but I figured we'll wait and do that after I do the foundation. I love the Tom Ford Traceless concealer, the one that came out earlier this year. I really like that one. And I have a good shade in that concealer, but I don't know, the foundations I just always thought are a little bit tricky. So there it is with that first application. Actually, I think the color is good. I was a little bit worried, but I think the color is okay. I think I'm distracted by my under eyes, but I think it's okay. This looks really, really pretty on my skin. It looks extremely smooth, which I don't know if, I'm assuming it has to do with that primer, but this foundation might just look like that on its own. But I mean, it looks extremely smooth on my skin. I would say this is like a lighter medium coverage right now. I'm gonna see if I can build up the coverage at all with this. So I'm gonna get some directly on my brush and just tap this on the areas where I want a little bit more coverage. It definitely looks pretty matte on my skin, so I'm assuming again that that's from the primer. And I think, is this supposed to be a matte foundation? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But I would be very curious to try this with more of like a glowy base underneath. But I think the color is actually good. Okay, I feel like I'm going to leave it here for now because we haven't done any concealer or anything, but it looks really pretty on my skin, and I'm happy with this shade match. I returned them before because this foundation is too expensive to not be the right color, you know what I mean? So I think this one is good though. So I'm gonna go ahead and do corrector and concealer. I don't have a new one that you haven't seen already, so we'll just speed through this. Let's move on. I did get something, again, I was influenced. I just couldn't not try this out for myself. You guys, I did end up getting this palette. I don't know what it is with me and palettes lately, but I'm just trying everything at this point. So this is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette for eyes, brows, face, and lips. So we're gonna try this today for bronzer, I guess, because I guess you can use this for everything. I saw Martina use this. I've seen so many people use this that I was just curious. I was too curious. It does have a very strong fragrance. Like, I'm trying to decide if it's the palette or if it's, no, it's the palette. I thought maybe it was this packaging. Yeah, it has an interesting smell. I think I'm gonna take the shade here, which is Chiseled. So you've probably seen a lot of people using this at this point, but basically the larger pans are like a putty cream formula and the smaller pans are the powder. So I guess you can use the powders to set the cream putty consistencies in place. So I don't know. Let's just try it out. I'm gonna go in with the Chiseled shade in the cream side, and I'm gonna use this, the 111 from BK Beauty. And I guess I'm gonna use this as like a contour shade. This looks like it should be pretty cool toned. So I'm just applying this like right under my cheekbone, I guess. Actually doesn't look as cool toned on my face as it does in the pan, but it's nice. Okay, I'm gonna take some of that same color on my forehead. That looks nice. Very, very natural. The only thing about using this on your face is these pan sizes. Like definitely ideal for eyes, lips, brows, and all of that, but I don't know how ideal it is for your face is the only thing, just based on the shape of the packaging and the pans, but I guess I can also use a smaller brush next time too. This is just really the only clean brush I have sitting out. Okay, so that shade definitely works as contour. Very subtle. Okay. I kind of want to take one of these warmer shades also. I guess a little bit of Desert, so this one right here. I'm just going to use the same brush. I just kind of want to test the color a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of this to my forehead. Yeah, this is such an interesting consistency. I've never used anything like this before. Yeah, that color is really nice as a bronzer on my skin tone. I'm gonna add just a little bit of the bronze shade kind of over where we put the contour shade on my cheeks. It looks nice, looks really natural. I feel like this would probably be one of those palettes that the more you use it, the more you find the ways that you like to use it. So I'm excited to keep playing around with this. Taking a little bit down my neck and my jawline also. For blush, I ordered another shade of the Gucci blush. So this is the Luminous Matte Blush, and I got the shade Rosy Beige number 5. I actually tried to buy this when I was in store on the first day of the sale, and this shade was out of stock. So I ended up having to order it. This is just something I've always wanted, this beautiful, like just what the name says, rosy beige color. I have one of these already, and it's the shade Radiant Pink, but I just love the color of this. How pretty is that? So it's definitely more of a nude, but it has just a little bit of a rose undertone to it. All right, we'll use this. This is a Smashbox angled blush brush. Probably should have set my cheeks with something because I feel like that didn't go on as smooth as they normally do, and it's probably because I did not set that Denessa with the powder. I probably should have done that. The shade is pretty though. Okay, let's do the other side, but maybe I should. I have a powder also, so I guess I should have done the powder first. Oh well, we're just gonna go for it. That is such a pretty color. These blushes are really nice. They're definitely a matte blush, but they're not a flat matte. They have just like a little bit of radiance to them that's really pretty. But it's like a natural looking radiance. It's not from glitter or anything. That color is really pretty. Okay, like I said, I do have a powder. Now this, I've seen so many mixed reviews on this that I went back and forth on whether I was gonna try this or not, but I just had to know myself. So I did get the new Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch pressed powder. I have not seen the most positive things about this version. I've seen a lot of people saying it's not the same as the loose version. I know it is unscented, which is nice because that's one thing I do not like at all about the original. And I got the shade Poundcake because I have the shade Cupcake in the loose version, so I want to try a different color. So let's try this out. I'm just gonna set my T-zone with this very lightly. I don't feel like I need a ton of powder. You do get a little puff thing in the bottom of here, this little thing like this, but I feel like that's gonna be way too much powder for me, so I'm just gonna use a brush. I'm gonna use this Charlotte Tilbury, what is this, Powder and Sculpt brush, and we'll apply this just right in this inner corner. I was really excited when I saw they were coming out with this loose version, but then I was really surprised when I saw a lot of people saying they didn't like it. But I am kind of one of those people, I have to like try it for myself, you know? Even if I see bad reviews, sometimes I still want to try things. I'll tell you one thing I don't really like is this. Why is it? I don't know. I don't like that it does that. I know they wanted to put this little puff thing down here, but I feel like it shouldn't like slam down like that. I don't know. Okay, it looks decent. I don't think it looks like heavy or powdery right here. But I do also have that Shiseido primer, which I think definitely did kind of smooth out this area before I applied anything. So it could also be from that. So I don't know. We'll have to keep testing this out and I'll let you know what I think. But I don't think it looks bad right now at all. Okay, let's move on to brows. So like I said, I'm gonna use the Denessa palette. I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I'm supposed to use the powders for my brows or if I'm supposed to use the pomades for the brows or if I can use either. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna try the pomade and then maybe switch to the powder. Yeah, I kind of want to use this shade down here, which is called Sculpted. So I think I'm going to use this shade here. I'm torn between this one or this one. This is Bark and this is Sculpted. I think we're going to go Sculpted. So I'm going to use the Patrick Ta brow brush. This is the weirdest texture, like when you press into the pomade, do you see that? It like indents it like putty. It's really very interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of do what I've been doing lately, which is brushing them down and kind of outlining the top and then brushing them back up and filling in where I need to. I think this should be a good shade for my brows, I think. All right, I think I'm gonna switch. Well, I'm gonna use the same color, but I'm gonna go to the powder. I'm gonna use that in this inner part of the brow. I don't know. This might even be too warm. If you have this palette and you've been using it for your brows, are you using the powders or are you using the velvet pomades or using both? Let me know. Okay, I think that's good for today. I'm just gonna set them in place with my Benefit Brow Gel. I definitely think the powder side of that shade, Sculpted, is a little bit too warm for the inner part, but I think it's okay for in the Velvet Pomade formula. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to keep playing around with this. Okay, I just primed my eyes with the Rare Beauty Eye Primer, and I'm trying to decide, you guys, I have so many palettes right now to use. I did end up getting this as well, and don't say I didn't warn you because I told you this was probably going to happen. Of course, I couldn't resist this. I could not. This is the Stora Dolls color in the YSL quad. Yeah, I could not resist. I could not resist, you guys. I fell madly in love with this. Oh no. Oh no. My thing just fell out. Well, I guess I'll have to glue that back in. That's sad, but anyway, here it is. This is Stora Dolls. It's more cool toned. I really want to use the Groundwork palette since that's new. So we're going to use that for the eyes, but I did also get this. We might top whatever I do on my eyes with this. This is one of the new Moon Dust shadows from Urban Decay. This is the shade Wild Dipper. It's, I think, a more golden shade, like similar to Space Cowboy, but just a little bit warmer, not as cool toned. So I have that as well, but I want to use this Groundwork palette for the eyes also. I know I want to use this color. This color is really calling to me. I don't know if you can see on camera, but this color here, the Velvet Pomade has like, it has shimmer in it. It's the only one that has that in it, but it's really pretty. That's the shade Mirage. I'm going to use it with the A501 from BK Beauty. It looks like that's like an overspray though, because it just picked it all up. I put my brush in there. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm going to put this all over. I'm going to put it on the lid and then I'm going to bring it up into the crease too. That is so strange. As soon as I put my brush in there, that sparkle finish like totally went away in the pan. So I'm just kind of building it up. I like that these formulas are buildable. They're not like intensely pigmented, which I feel like that makes it very user-friendly. So I do appreciate that for sure. I'm gonna do this on the other side. This is a really light, warmer brown, but it's very pretty. This is a really good one and done shadow. All right, then I'm gonna go into the powder side, so this right here, and I'm just gonna go over that with the powder. So that definitely makes it darker, more intense when you go over it with the powder. let's go into this shade, Stone, and I'm going to use the pomade side of this. So this is obviously a gray, it's much cooler toned. And I'm using that same A502 or A501 from BK Beauty. I feel like this is a good brush for these pomades because it's a little bit more dense. So I'm just adding this in this outer corner. Then I'm going to go into the powder side of Stone with a more tapered brush. This is the 202 from BK Beauty. And just kind of feather over that color as well. I'm going to take a little bit of Sandstone, the powder. So this is the lightest shade. And I'm going to use my blending, or the first brush we used with the warmer brown powder. And I'm going to go over this edge out here just to kind of soften it a little bit. I love using shades like that to do that. If you ever feel like you have any like harsh lines or anything, taking just like a setting powder or just like a lighter eyeshadow, something that's close to your skin tone, and just going over it usually will just kind of blend everything together. Okay, now I want to use, I think, this shade here, which is Bark. I'm going to use the Velvet Pomade and do winged liner with my 208 brush from BK Beauty. So I'm kind of trying to go between the lashes with this. This is kind of what I've been doing recently, is instead of like tight lining my eye, I just really try to focus the liner in between the lashes and not so much like on the actual waterline. And then I'll come down to almost the very edge of my lash line here and kind of flick it out towards my brow like that. And then I try to connect from that line over kind of halfway between the end of my lash line and where we started lining. It's kind of, I'm not really explaining it very well, but I've said it before, if you do not have the 208 brush from BK Beauty, trust me when I say you need this one in your life, especially if you have hooded eyes or smaller eyes in general. You need this little angled brush. All right, and then this is the weirdest texture ever. Do you see all the little marks it made right there where I stuck my little brush in? I'm taking the powder side of Bark now, and I'm just basically gonna kind of go over that liner, but not precisely at all. Just gonna kind of go back and forth over it, just to kind of smudge it a little bit and set it in place. I kind of want to test this light color Sandstone. I don't know if I want to put it like on my lid or if I want to put it in the inner corner maybe. Maybe we'll try that. And again, I don't know if I should take the pomade or if I should take the powder. Let's go into the pomade here. So that adds just a little bit of brightness wherever you use it. You could use it under your brow also. I'm going to take this brush. This is from the Morphe Ariel collection. It's the A20. I'm going to take the powder side of that Sandstone, and I'm just going to lightly kind of apply just a little bit right here, just to add a little bit of that powder color. Then for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into this shade, Chiseled, which is what I used on my face first as like a contour color, and I'm going to put that under my eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of the color I used for liner, which is Bark. I'm using the pomade side, and I'm going to put this in the outer half of my lower lash line. I think that's it for eyeshadow. We'll use it for lip liner as well, but let's use this. I know I really like the matte look, but I can't not use this shadow. This is the new Urban Decay, or one of the new Urban Decay Moon Dust shadows. This one is in Wild Dipper, super pretty. I am excited that they came out with new colors of these because I feel like that should have happened a while ago, I feel like, because I know people love the original Moon Dust. So that is Wild Dipper right there. Just a little bit of a warmer golden color, but it also does have a little bit of the silvery reflex in it as well. So I'm just gonna, oh, okay, that is pretty. Yeah, so this color has like gold and silver in it, which I actually really like. I'm just like barely touching, and I got a lot on the eye. Kind of focusing it mainly in the middle and out, but wow, that's pretty. Love that. Let me actually grab my Space Cowboy and I'll swatch them here side by side so you can see the color difference, but this one just has a little bit more warmth to it than Space Cowboy does. I don't have a new mascara, so I'm just gonna use this one from Hourglass. This is the Caution Extreme Mascara. Okay, let's move on to lips. For lip liner, I want to use this palette again. I'm trying to decide which color to use. Let's go into Chiseled first. I'm using the pomade side. I don't know if this brush is the best thing for this. Okay, let's switch to a different brush. I'm gonna switch to this Luxie brush. It's like a pointed, tiny brush like this. Maybe that's not the right color. All right, let's try this shade, which this is the one shade in here that I'm not like crazy about, this orangey shade. No, don't like that on the lips either. Let's go into Harvest then, which is this one. I feel like this is gonna be one of those palettes that's like trial and error kind of. Okay, that shade works. I can't tell if it's that on its own or if it has some of that orangey shade kind of mixed in. That works. I just don't know if I'm obsessed with those colors. I'll just have to keep playing around with it. Let me know if you use this for lip liner or you have a suggestion. Let me know in the comments. I do have another lip product. Hold on. This is kind of a random purchase. I realized I don't own a Makeup by Mario lipstick. So this is his Ultra Suede lipstick in Sam. And I think this is just like a neutral, kind of mid-toned nude. So that is shade Sam right there. So let's use this. One final thing we're gonna put on top is this. This is the In Beauty Lip Glaze Oil. This is the shade Cookie. Did I buy this because it is named Cookie? Partly. I am a huge cookie person and I have a few of these and I really like this formula from In Beauty Project. So this is just like a really pretty nude. Let's see if it smells like cookies. Oh, it does. Wow, okay, it smells very good. Yeah, that smells really good. They used to not have the individual In Beauty Project lip oils on Sephora, but they do now. And ooh, I love that on top of that Sam lipstick. All right, you guys, that is everything for part 2 of my Sephora VIB sale haul. Tried a lot of makeup during this sale time, but I want to go through these products really quickly. The primer I like my skin looks really, really good in terms of how smooth it is on my face. So I don't know if it's the primer or the foundation or just the combination of both, but first impression of the primer is it's nice. It's not the most blurring primer I've ever tried. Like if you are looking for something very, very blurring, probably not going to be for you. That one though is called the soft blurring primer, so it makes sense. It just adds a really nice light veil of just an even texture over your skin. So I like it so far. I'll keep trying it. Obviously, the Tom Ford foundation looks fantastic. Truly, truly undetectable on my face. The color is good. So that I am really excited about. I think I finally found the correct color for me, which is very exciting. But just the way it looks on my skin is what I'm most impressed with. I mean, it looks so natural and not heavy, but still gives great coverage. Yeah, I'll see how it wears. Obviously, this is a very expensive foundation, so I would expect for it to really knock my socks off. And based on how it looks now, it has so far knocked my socks off. So I will keep you updated on this, but so far so good. We didn't try the Lancome today, but I will be trying that in a future video. Okay, then we went into this palette. So this is very interesting, very unique. I'm really happy that I bought it because I keep seeing people use it and it's very intriguing because I've not tried anything like this. And it's very interesting, very unique. I like it. I want to keep playing with it though. I feel like this is one of those products, like I said earlier, you really need to test and try different colors in different places and really figure out what you like the best on you. But I love the concept and I don't have anything like this. I'm excited to keep playing around with it. If I had a complaint about it, I would say two things. It has a really strange smell to me. It almost smells, this is gonna sound really strange. It smells like when you get something like a purse or a pair of shoes, that new leather smell, even if it's not leather, like almost polyurethane smell. Do you know what I mean? Am I just making this up or does this smell like this? I feel like it smells like that. Anyways, I don't love the smell and I love the concept. Like I said, I just don't know how practical these powders are, or really the velvet pomades for your face. Because like I said, the pans, even though the velvet pomades are larger, you still have to have a brush that you can get in there with. So you're either gonna have to use a small brush or maybe pinch your brush to get the shade built up. So that would be my only complaint so far, but I do like how it looks on my face. Everywhere I applied it other than the lip liner, I like. So I had no issues with application, like blending or anything like that. So I really like the formulas. I just feel like I need to play with it a bit more. Maybe watch some more videos of how other people are using this. I don't know. If you have any tips or things you think I should try, let me know in the comments. But I'm very happy to have this. I don't own much from, actually I don't own hardly anything from Danessa Myricks other than her Yummy Skin Tint. So I'm excited to have something else from her in my collection. The Gucci blush is beautiful. It's a Gucci blush, so do you need it? Absolutely not. Is it beautiful? Yes. Is it very, I mean, the packaging is cute. It's very nice, very luxurious. The formula is very, it's matte, but it's not a flat matte. It's a matte with a little bit of sheen to it, but I just love the rosy beige color. I feel like it will go with everything. So I'm happy that I got that. YSL Stora dolls we did not use today, but we will use in another video. I told you I was gonna buy another one of those. This is beautiful, the new Wild Dipper shade from Urban Decay. I love how that looks on the eyes, especially with the eyeshadow we did today. I just love like a hint of the sparkle. So if Space Cowboy is too cool toned for you, you might really like Wild Dipper because it's a little bit warmer, but it still has a little bit of the silver reflex in it. Oh, the powder, the Huda powder. I can't really comment on this yet. I mean, I don't look at my skin at all today and think anything looks strange at all. It looks extremely smooth. I just don't know if it's from the primer or the foundation or the powder or a combination of all of them, but my skin where I did apply it does not look heavy or powdery at all. So I know that's not super helpful, but at this point, I don't dislike it at all, but I'll keep using it and let you know. And then, okay, the lipstick from Makeup by Mario is beautiful in the shade Sam. It's a very matte lipstick, so if you're not into matte, you might not love that formula. It's very creamy, but it's definitely very matte. So if you like that, you will probably like those lipsticks. And then of course the lip glaze on top. I very rarely wear a matte lip, so I love adding an oil or a gloss on top, and I love that this smells like cookies, okay? I'm a cookie girl. I've never seen a cookie that I don't like, ever. And this smells like cookies too. And it actually looks pretty over that Makeup by Mario lipstick. Okay, so those are my thoughts on these things. More updates to come in future videos, but thank you so much for watching all of the Sephora videos. I hope you've enjoyed them. I will have everything I use linked below. I believe this should go up today, which is the last day of the sale. So I will have all these products linked for you below. They are affiliate links, so I will make a commission that supports this channel if you shop through them. I hope you'll subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.